Um, Thank you for joining us, Jonathan.
You are very welcome, sir. I will do what I can to quieten them.
Um, we're calling this video Spiritual Awakening 2023. So you could probably guess what this video we wanted to talk about. We are still first in the first part of our earthly year, and um, in the lead up to 2020, you made a number of predictions about spiritual awakening and many other predictions that a lot of them have seemed to come true so far. Um, it's been a very turbulent 3 years for everyone, and everyone's life has changed. So, what I wanted to ask you is what you feel has happened so far, and what do you feel is coming ahead in this spiritual awakening?
Well, as I have explained before, many people will be experiencing their fears surfacing inside of them, should there be any within them. It is not to say that everyone has fears, but sometimes people have old emotions that they are starting to experience, and they have no explanation as to what they are. But if you have old emotions, please do let them go, because they will serve you well for letting them go. But in your physical world, there are many tests going on, as you know, and there are many things happening that all of you are not best pleased about. But if you stand for your rights and stand up for yourselves, then it will make a difference, I am sure. But coming back to the spiritual awakening, we do believe that there are people that are coming to us asking what is happening to them. And this is what is happening. It is the huge worldly spiritual awakening. I did explain before, quite a few years ago, that there was going to be a spiritual awakening, and besides that, there was going to be the Exodus, you see. So there are a lot of people joining our spirit world. We have taken many in, and there are many more to come, unfortunately. We do not want to be the bringer of negativity, of course. But people pass to the spirit world every day, don't they? Yes, they do. But there are many more than usual that are passing, and we are welcoming them home. But there will also be other tests that the human beings will go through, and it is up to them what they do with it and what they learn from it. But when it comes to this spiritual awakening, it is happening right beside what is going on in your world at present. And this is simply because the truth in every corner of every place in the world is surfacing, not only in the individual, but in the all round world, you see. I would say that truth has to prevail, but it also has to surface in everything and everyone. Now, not all of you are going to be suddenly spiritual, and we understand that some of you have particular religions that you are looking to. Well, we are not here to judge that, but we are here to let you know that you are a sentient being, that you have a soul inside of your body, and that it is limitless and infinite. And we want you to know that you can attune yourself to that whenever you wish to. Your thoughts are your most empowering things, depending on whether you are going to think negatively or positively. It makes a lot of difference in your life as to how you will think. So, meditation is a good thing. I always speak about meditation. A lot of people say, well, what is meditation? Meditation is just simply a quietening of the mind. The Tibetan monks would sit for quite long periods of time meditating, but in your very busy lives, you haven't got time to sit there all day. But do give yourself a little bit of time, even if it is only 5 to 10 minutes a day, or whenever you feel that you have the time to sit and quieten your mind. And when I say quietening your mind, it is not blanking out everything that is present within your mind, but relaxing your mind so that it is not worried about many different things. Therefore, you will find you are more peaceful, and therefore you will find that your daily life and your daily stresses that you go through are not quite so harsh as you would you picked them to be before you did the meditation. It is not to say that they are not still there to be solved, but you are more easily able to be calmer in dealing with them. So for the world, the massive awakening, and a lot of people will say, well, say what a lot of nonsense, but it is absolutely true. It is happening. Now, if you look at the Exodus, you could look at it from two ways, say. And when you got the Exodus, sometimes you could mean many people are going to pass. And if you look at it from the other side of the explanation, you can look at it as a mass of people are going to migrate. Well, you already know about that. People are migrating to different countries and they are all flooding in. But you see, what you've got to understand is that they're all human beings. They all go back home eventually. But all of you are, or some of you are rather displeased about the situation. Well, that is what is happening on the earth, and it is going to happen more, I'm afraid. And someone is going to have to perhaps do something about it. Whatever happens, it is going to get even more prevalent. So it's not only going to be in one country, it may be in several other countries that are going to perhaps have this problem that they haven't had in the past or have now. What we want you to do is start looking to yourselves, start understanding who you are and where you came from, where you originate from. You come from the spirit world. You came into this world to live a physical life. And when your soul came here, it had the understanding that there were going to be things in life that weren't particularly happy and jolly and weren't particularly acceptable to you. So if you look past that sometimes, if you tune your mind to your higher self, you can see that you are all one and the same in consciousness, but you do things differently. You have different opinions about things. You have different judgments about things. But if you look at concentrating on your life and trying to live it in the most positive way that you possibly can in the situation, then you will survive it. You will get through it. Know that you're always going to go back to the same place that you came from, you see. And by doing that, you can accept what is happening mostly in this life. So I do hope that helps you.
Yeah. I know spirit don't deal with time like we do, but how long do you see roughly the spiritual awakening process lasting for?
Oh, it could last for many years. You see, because there is no time in our world, we could look at 100 years as an example, and we could just bat an eyelid and say, well, yes, that's 100 years. That doesn't mean anything to us because we have nowhere to rush to, nowhere to be because we are in a place of bliss. You see, the consciousness doesn't have the limitation of the physicality and the ego, so it can be anywhere that it wants to be and bilocate. And it can be there in an instant. So that is why time doesn't mean anything because everything is instantaneous. Whereas in your world, if you wanted to go somewhere, you would perhaps have to plan it, or you would have to travel there on foot or travel there by vehicle, and you cannot instantaneously be there. If you think of the place, you could be there in your thoughts. And when you become a spirit without the physicality, that's because you can be there in the physical thought. You can be there physically if you wanted to be. So everything doesn't have an existence of a physicality, but it looks like it, you see. So it's a little bit holographic, so to speak. If you wanted to create a thought and it wanted to be a reality, then it could be seen as a reality, but it isn't physical, it is ethereal. So really, your thoughts are ethereal until they become a reality. You plan something, you visualize it, and then you make it into reality. You see, you actually do it. So if you think what you want to do in your life, it becomes then a reality should you plan it and partake in it. So it's your actions, your thoughts, then your actions that bring things into reality. And then the universe has a part in that. So do excuse me if I have missed anything out in your question. Do repeat it to me if there is anything that I have missed in that subject.
No, that's fine, thank you. One thing that is rapidly changing in our world is technology, and since 2020, the way we've worked has changed. They're speaking about many different types of technology that we've never seen or experimented with yet. It's going to be coming in. How do you think that fits with our spiritual awakening?
Well, that is going to be part of the human life. For instance, they have created robotic beings, haven't they? Well, they're not beings, but they're robotic. And they're able to do things that humans feel that they are slightly limited on, and that these robotic things can do for them and save them half of the job so that they have more time for themselves. But in the future, in the far future, there are going to be flying vehicles, which they have already created, but they haven't mastered them properly yet because there are still faults within them. So they've got to make sure that they're perfectly safe. In the future, there will be more high-rise buildings rather than buildings that you have of this nature. In the future, there will be more highly rised buildings. And as I explained to you, there are going to be technologies beyond belief. Your quantum computers, should say, the quantum. You've got quantum physics, haven't you? But they will bring that into computers. So you see, you got like a liquidated computer that you can simply touch and something comes on there. You've got that now, but this is going to be very fluid based. You see, it's going to be very fluid based. So you've got your flying vehicles, which are already starting. You've got your robots, which are already starting. And in the future, there are not going to be any tills for you to go to at all. What there are going to be is all of these people that go into these supermarkets are going to have more of these machines that are going to serve you, and they're going to talk back to you like they do, but even more, you see. And of course, then there will be no human beings in the way of these on the counters like there used to be or like there is now. There will be none of that. You will have a fully digital monetary system, and they will work out a one world government in the end. So you see that nothing is particularly separated with governmental issues, that they all become one, and it is all fed into some sort of quantum computer. Now, at the moment, if you were to create this quantum computer, it would be very large, and it would be of similarity to what the telephone system was many years ago, with plugging in and taking out and putting people through and such. But in this case, it's going to be one large computer that they will all go to. So it's going to become a very robotic type of world. It's going to become very technological. And of course, the any souls that join your world are just going to grow up with it. They're just going to have it there. They're just going to know that they've got the answers to everything at the touch of a button, which you have now, but you will have it even more. So what they're hoping is that these robots will be made into very much human-like. Now, at the moment, they look a lot like dolls with moving mouths, and they have voices within them. But later on, they're going to look so much more like humans that in the end, I don't think you're going to be able to tell who is human and who isn't. But there will be a difference, of course. There will be a difference with eye movement and such and actions. So I don't think it'll be quite that bad, but it is just Jonathan putting a little bit of chuckling into it there. But they will be seemingly quite sentient. But of course, they haven't got souls, so you will never ever overtake the consciousness of a human being, but they will do a lot of the tasks that the human beings cannot.
Thank you. You often talk about certain cultures like Tibetan monks and the Native Americans. Um, do you feel it's easier for people to connect spiritually in certain environments or certain cultures, or do you think we all can quite easily do that if we put our mind to it?
If you put your mind to it, you would look past cultures. Because you are all one and the same in consciousness, that doesn't make any difference, you see. But it is only egoism that has created culturalism over the years, because they have all grown up with it, and that is what they are used to. So that is what they carry out. So you've got Christians, you've got Catholics, you've got Buddhists, you've got all of this going on, and many, many more culturalisms going on that each different country becomes associated with, because they have traveled around over the many years and learned about it, and then their computers have allowed them to connect with it further, you see. So the different people have different beliefs. You've got Buddhists as well, Buddhist monks, as well as the Tibetan, you've got Buddhist monks, you've got all of that sort of thing going on, culturalism, and it all appertains to be connecting to the same spirit world, but in a different way. You've got shamanism, that's that sort of thing. Shamanism with healing, and they all create their different methods of connecting to the one higher self.
Oh, thank you, Jonathan, for helping us with that today. Um, yeah, I think it will be an interesting year ahead for everyone. Um, yeah,
Yes, so there are going to be a lot of people out protesting, I might add. They're really going to start getting quite annoyed about the situations that are going to be put into place. And of course, I know that Elaine already knows about that, but I am letting you know that the people will provide a little bit of an angry nature when it comes to these things. They're not going to listen. Some of them will, some of them will be afraid not to speak out, but I would say that there will be people that will gather together in their masses.
okay. Well, thank you for that. And yeah, we'll let you go now, as Elaine has another reading to do later on. Yeah,
Yes, I am happy to have joined you today.
thank you.
Most of what my subjects shall cover is the embracing the higher mind, which is a very joyous occasion, and the more you practice it, the better you become. God bless you all, and I shall speak to you again soon.